You do not need to touch a woman to make her feel the heat. You need presence she can feel before your hand ever moves. Folks, most men get this wrong. They think attraction starts with physical contact, bold moves, loud compliments, or trying to prove they are desirable. So they rush, they stare too hard, they talk too much, they force chemistry before the moment has had time to breathe. And that is exactly why the tension dies. My friend, a woman can feel attraction before you ever touch her. She feels it in your eye contact, in the way you listen, in the calm weight of your voice, in the way you notice what other men miss, in the way you challenge her lightly without disrespecting her, in the way you hold your desire with discipline instead of letting it spill all over the room. That is the power of non-physical attraction. In this video, you will learn how to build heat without touching her, how to make her feel truly seen, how to speak with controlled tension, how to slow the moment down, and how to use presence, mystery, and restraint to make her think about you long after you are gone. Because the strongest pull is not created by rushing toward her body, it is created by entering her mind first. Stay with me until the end, because the final move shows how your presence alone can turn the whole room into tension. Let's get into it. Number 1. Build heat without touch. Let's be real, folks. Any man can try to create attraction by moving too fast. He leans in too soon. He reaches before the moment is ready. He mistakes boldness for tension and pressure for confidence. But a woman does not feel real heat because a man rushes toward her. She feels it when his presence makes the space between them come alive. That is non-physical attraction. It starts before your hand moves. It starts in the way you enter a room, how steady your voice is, how present you are when she speaks, and how comfortable you are with a little silence. A man who has control over himself creates curiosity. A man who cannot control his hunger creates pressure. Think about Daniel, 56, from Austin. He met Laura, 48, at a small dinner party hosted by mutual friends. Laura was attractive, sharp, and used to men trying too hard around her. One man kept complimenting her dress. Another kept interrupting her to prove he was interesting. Daniel did something different. He did not rush to impress her. He listened. He asked one good question, then let her answer without jumping in. When she made a dry joke, he smiled slowly and said, "There's more trouble behind that calm face than you let people see." Laura laughed, but she also paused. That pause matters, my friend. Daniel had not touched her. He had not said anything crude. He had not begged for attention. But he created a spark because he noticed something beneath the surface and had the calm confidence to say it. He made her feel seen and challenged at the same time. That is how heat begins. Most men kill that heat because they cannot let tension breathe. The moment a woman smiles, they flood her with words. The moment she gives eye contact, they chase it. The moment they feel attraction, they try to lock it down. But tension grows in space. It grows when you are warm, without being needy, direct, without being pushy and interested, without looking hungry. A Stoic man understands restraint. He does not deny desire, but he does not let desire drive the whole conversation. He can feel attraction and still stay composed. That self-control is what gives his presence weight. She senses that he wants, but he is not ruled by wanting. That balance creates a kind of quiet pull most men never learn. So if you want to build heat without touch, start with your energy, slow your speech, relax your shoulders. Let your eye contact stay steady, not intense like a man trying to dominate, but calm like a man who is fully there. Listen for what she is really saying. Notice the detail other men miss. Respond with a little edge, a little warmth, and enough space for her mind to work. Do not perform. Do not force mystery. Do not act like a character from a movie. Just become less reactive, less eager to prove, less desperate to fill every gap. Let her feel that your attention is chosen, not spilled. When a woman feels seen, safe, and lightly challenged, her mind starts moving toward you. She begins to wonder what else you notice. She begins to feel the difference between a man who wants her body and a man who can reach her mind first. That is the beginning of real heat. And once her mind opens, the rest of her attention follows naturally toward you. If you are ready to create tension without rushing, write this in the comments. I create tension. Stay with me because the next move shows why making her feel truly seen can be more powerful than any physical move. Number 2. Make her feel seen. Let's be honest, my friend. Most women are used to being looked at, but very few feel truly seen. That difference is everything. Looking at her body may get a moment of attention. Seeing her character, her rhythm, her humor, her hidden sadness, her intelligence, or the way she carries herself can stay in her mind long after the conversation ends. That is where non-physical attraction becomes powerful. Too many men think attraction is created by loud compliments. You're beautiful. You look amazing. You're so gorgeous. She may smile, but she has heard that before. A woman with any kind of presence has heard those lines from men who barely know her. Compliments about beauty are easy. Observation takes presence. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." That line is not just wisdom for discipline, it is wisdom for attraction. A man who listens well becomes rare. He does not rush to impress. He does not wait for his turn to talk. He hears the small details and shows her calmly that her words actually landed. If she mentions that she loves early mornings because the world feels quiet, remember that. Later you might say, "You strike me as someone who needs quiet mornings to reset before the world starts pulling at you." That is not a cheap compliment. That is recognition. It tells her you were paying attention to the inner part of her, not just the surface. If she makes a joke to hide something serious, notice the shift. You do not need to expose her. You can simply say, "You joke when something matters, don't you?" Soft, calm, not invasive. That kind of line can make her pause because it touches something other men miss. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." A woman's thoughts, habits, reactions, and small patterns reveal her inner world. When you notice those things with respect, she feels a different kind of intimacy, not physical, not rushed, but mental and emotional. And that can create heat without pressure. But listen closely, folks. Making her feel seen is not the same as analyzing her like a therapist. Do not turn every sentence into a deep reading. Do not stare into her soul and make the moment heavy. You are not there to diagnose her wounds. You are there to be present, grounded, and awake. There is a fine line between depth and intensity. Depth invites, intensity corners. A Stoic man knows the difference. He notices, but he does not invade. He listens, but he does not chase. He gives attention, but he keeps control over how much emotional energy he spends. That balance matters because attention can either feel attractive or hungry. If you notice her only to win her approval, she will feel the need. If you notice her because you are genuinely present, she will feel the strength. She will sense you are not performing sensitivity. You are simply paying attention like a man who knows his own center. So make her feel seen by slowing down. Ask better questions. Remember details. Reflect something real back to her. Notice what lights her up. Notice what makes her guarded. Notice the part of her that wants to be understood but not handled. A woman may forget a man who only called her pretty. She remembers the man who saw the mind behind the smile and the fire behind the calm. If you are ready to notice what others miss, write this in the comments. I notice deeply. Stick with me because the next move shows how seeing small details can turn ordinary attention into quiet desire. Number 3. Notice what men miss. Let's be honest, folks. Most men notice the obvious. They notice her dress, her smile, her body, her hair, the way she walks into a room. And there is nothing wrong with seeing beauty. But if all you notice is what every other man notices, then your attention feels like every other man's attention. That is why you must notice what men miss. A woman feels something different when a man catches the small detail behind the surface. The way her voice changes when she talks about something she loves. the way she gets quiet when a topic matters, the way she uses humor to cover nerves, the way she watches the room before she speaks, the way she smiles politely at everyone but only relaxes around people who make her feel safe. That kind of attention creates quiet desire because it makes her feel known without being grabbed. Take Marcus, 54, from Nashville. He met a woman named Claire, 46, at a dinner with friends. Claire was beautiful, and every man at the table seemed to notice that first. One complimented her earrings. Another told her she looked amazing. Another kept trying to make her laugh so she would look his way. Marcus did not compete. He listened. During dinner, Claire mentioned almost casually that she loved old bookstores because they made her feel calm. Most men would have let that pass. Marcus did not. Later, when the conversation slowed, he said, "You know, I can see that about you. You seem like someone who needs places that feel quiet, not because you are shy, but because your mind is always working." Claire looked at him differently. That was not a pickup line. It was not loud. It was not needy. It was a real observation. He noticed something beneath her beauty. He saw a piece of her inner world and reflected it back with calm confidence. That is the kind of moment a woman remembers. My friend, ordinary men throw attention at the surface and hope it creates heat. A stronger man pays attention to the details that reveal who she is. He does not just ask what she does for work. He listens for what gives her energy. He does not just say she looks good. He notices whether she carries herself like a woman who has learned to protect her peace. He does not just laugh at her jokes. He notices whether the joke is confidence or a shield. Now, do not turn this into some strange performance. Do not overanalyze her. Do not act like you can read her soul after 5 minutes. That feels fake. That feels invasive. The power is in subtlety. One sharp observation is stronger than 10 forced ones. You might say, "You have a calm way of speaking, but I get the sense you notice everything." Or, "You seem like someone who does not open up easily, but when you do, people probably remember it." Or, "There is more behind that smile than you let most people see." Say it slowly. Say it lightly. Then let it breathe. That is where tension grows. Not from pushing, not from trying to impress, from seeing something real and being composed enough not to overplay it. A Stoic man is present. He is not trapped in his own need to be liked. That is why he notices more. His mind is not racing for the next clever line. His attention is steady, and steady attention, when guided by respect, can feel more intimate than touch. So train yourself to notice what men miss. Her rhythm, her pauses, her humor, her guardedness, her intelligence, her softness under strength. When you see the detail, others overlook. Your presence separates itself from the crowd. If you are ready to see beyond the obvious, write this in the comments. I see details. Stay with me, because the next move shows why challenging her with standards can create more heat than constant agreement. Number 4. Challenge her with standards. Let's get clear, my friend. A woman does not feel real heat from a man who agrees with everything she says, laughs at everything she jokes about, and bends his schedule every time she gives him a little attention. That may feel polite. It may even feel safe. But it does not create tension. It creates predictability. And predictability, when it has no edge, turns attraction flat. Challenging her with standards does not mean insulting her. It does not mean acting arrogant, cold, or hard to please. It means you do not become a yes man just because she is beautiful. You let her feel that you have a mind of your own, a life of your own, and a standard she cannot casually step over. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That applies here. If you want to be a man of value, stop acting like her approval is more important than your truth. Say what you mean. Hold your ground. Keep your rhythm. Let your standard show up naturally. If she says something dramatic just to see if you will agree, do not rush to please her. Smile and say, "I don't know if I'm buying that." Calm, playful, controlled. If she says she is always late, do not laugh like it is cute. If punctuality matters to you, say, "I like women who respect time." That one might cost you points. Light, not harsh. Clear, not needy. That kind of challenge wakes up attention. Folks, women are used to men trying to win favor. Many men soften their opinions, hide their standards, and become overly agreeable because they fear losing the chance. But a woman can feel when your agreement is not real. She can feel when you are choosing approval over backbone. And when she feels that the heat drops. A Stoic man does not perform dominance. He simply refuses to betray himself. He can enjoy a woman's beauty without letting beauty silence his standards. He can flirt without becoming foolish. He can be warm without becoming weak. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not be driven this way and that, but always behave with justice and see things as they are. See the moment clearly. If she brings good energy, meet it. If she tests your boundary, hold it. If she expects you to drop everything for her, do not do it just because the attention feels good. For example, if she texts at the last minute and says, 'Come out tonight,' and you already have plans, do not cancel your life to prove interest. Say, 'I'd enjoy seeing you, but tonight is already taken. Let's plan something properly.' That response has warmth and structure. It tells her you want her, but you are not waiting around for her. That is attractive because it is controlled. And listen, if you want deeper lessons on Stoic attraction, masculine standards, emotional control, and how to create tension without chasing, consider joining the channel membership. That is where we go deeper and sharpen these principles with more structure. The key is balance. Too much challenge becomes arrogance. Too much agreement becomes weakness. The middle path is where the heat lives. You respect her, but you do not worship her. You enjoy her, but you do not orbit her. You invite her closer, but you do not lower your standard to keep her there. Challenge her with standards, and she feels something most men never give her, a man she cannot fully control with beauty alone. If you are ready to hold your standard without losing your calm, write this in the comments: "I hold standards." Stay tuned, because the next move shows how your voice can create heat before you ever touch her. Number 5. Speak with controlled heat. Let's be honest, folks. The way you say something can create more tension than the words themselves. A weak man talks fast because he is afraid the moment will disappear. A needy man explains too much because he wants approval. But a man with controlled heat speaks like he is not chasing the reaction. He lets his voice carry weight, then gives the silence room to work. This is where many men miss the power of non-physical attraction. They think they need the perfect line. They do not. A perfect line spoken with nervous energy becomes forgettable. A simple line spoken with calm restraint and presence can stay in a woman's mind all night. Take Anthony, 57, from Miami. He met a woman named Rebecca, 49, at a rooftop lounge after a business event. Rebecca was elegant, sharp, and used to men trying to impress her. One man kept bragging about his boat. Another kept forcing jokes. Anthony did less. He listened. He let the conversation breathe. When Rebecca said she did not trust men who talked too much, Anthony smiled, held her eyes for a second, and said, "Smart woman." Silence tells you more than most men want you to know. He did not rush after the sentence. He did not laugh at his own line. He did not explain what he meant. He let it sit. Rebecca looked away for a moment, then looked back. That small pause was the tension. My friend, controlled heat is not dirty talk. It is not being crude. It is not pushing sexual energy into a conversation before respect has been built. Controlled heat is suggestion with discipline. It is saying enough to wake her curiosity, but not so much that you sound hungry. Instead of saying, "You're so beautiful," say, "You know exactly what that look does, don't you?" Instead of saying, "I really like you," too early, say, "There is something about you I am still trying to figure out." Instead of asking flat questions, make a grounded observation. "You seem calm, but I get the feeling you are not as innocent as you look. Now listen carefully. The power is not only in the words, it is in the delivery. Slow down, lower the pace, relax your face. Do not lean forward like you need her to approve the line. Speak, pause, and let her respond. If she smiles, do not pounce. If she challenges you back, enjoy it. If she pulls away, stay calm and shift smoothly. That is masculine control. It tells her your desire has a frame, not a leash, and that your attention is powerful because it is chosen with care. Most men turn heat into pressure because they want the result too badly. They say something suggestive, then stare at her reaction like a boy waiting for a grade. That kills the energy. A Stoic man stays centered. He offers the moment, then releases the outcome. He is not controlled by whether she laughs, blushes, or tests him. The goal is to create a current between you, not drag her into your desire. Let your words open a door. Let your tone give the door warmth. Let your restraint show her she is dealing with a man who can feel attraction without spilling it everywhere. Speak with controlled heat, and she starts listening differently. Your voice becomes part of the tension. Your pauses become part of the pull. Your calm becomes more memorable than any loud compliment. If you are ready to make your voice carry weight, write this in the comments. I speak slowly. Stick with me, because the next move shows how slowing the moment down can make the tension grow even stronger. Number 6. Slow down the moment. Let's be honest, my friend. Most men rush because they are afraid the tension will disappear. A woman smiles and they talk faster. She gives eye contact and they fill the silence. She leans in a little and they try to push the moment forward before it has had time to breathe. That impatience kills heat. Attraction needs rhythm. If you move too fast, she feels your hunger more than your presence. If you explain too much, she stops wondering. If you chase every spark the second it appears, you teach her that you are controlled by the spark. A man with real pull does something different. He slows the moment down. Seneca said, "No great thing is created suddenly." That is true in discipline, and it is true in attraction. Tension grows when there is space for it to build. A pause before you answer, a calm look before you speak, a slow smile instead of a nervous laugh. A sentence that lands, then silence long enough for her to feel it. Folks, this is not about acting mysterious like a boy trying to seem deep. It is about self-command. When you slow down, you show her that you are not desperate to prove yourself. You are not begging the moment to become something. You are steady enough to let it become what it becomes. That steadiness changes the room. When she says something playful, do not immediately throw 3 jokes back. Give one good line, then let it sit. When she asks a personal question, do not spill your whole story. Answer with truth, but leave a little space. When she looks at you, do not look away too fast, because the silence makes you nervous. Hold the moment with warmth, not pressure. That is where quiet heat lives. A woman can feel when a man is rushing toward an outcome. She can also feel when he is enjoying the present moment without needing to grab it. The second man feels safer, stronger, and more attractive because he is not trying to force her reaction. He is leading the pace by controlling himself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her response is outside your control. Whether she smiles, tests you, leans closer, or pulls back is outside your control. But your pace is yours. Your breath is yours. Your tone is yours. Your ability to stay composed inside tension is yours. So practice slowing down. Speak a little less. Listen a little longer. Let silence do some of the work. Stop answering before she finishes. Stop filling every gap because you fear she will lose interest. If she is truly drawn in, space will not kill the attraction. It will deepen it. And remember, slow does not mean passive. You can still lead. You can still be direct. You can still create tension. You are simply not rushing like a man who believes this is his only chance. That belief is scarcity, and women feel it. A mature man lets attraction unfold. He gives the moment shape without choking it. He enjoys the charge without trying to control every second. He lets her curiosity rise instead of trying to satisfy it too quickly. He understands that the space between words can make her feel more than another compliment ever could. That restraint makes his presence feel heavier, cleaner, and harder to forget. It turns conversation into a slow current, not a desperate race for approval inside her mind. If you are ready to stop rushing the tension, write this in the comments. I slow down. Stay with me, because the next move shows how calm eye contact can say more than your words ever could. Number 7. Hold eye contact calmly. Let's be honest, folks. Eye contact can create more tension than any line you memorize, but only if it is calm. If you stare like a man trying to dominate, she feels pressure. If you look away every 2 seconds, she feels your nerves. But when your eyes stay steady, warm and relaxed, she feels your presence before you say another word. That is the power of calm eye contact. Think about Robert, 55, from Denver. He met a woman named Allison, 48, at a small live music lounge after work. Allison was elegant, quick with her humor, and clearly used to men either staring too hard or avoiding her eyes completely. Robert did neither. When she spoke, he gave her his full attention. Not a hungry stare, not a frozen look, just calm focus, like he was actually listening, instead of waiting for his turn to impress her. At one point, Allison told a story about quitting a career she hated and starting over in her 40s. Most men would have rushed in with advice or a story about themselves. Robert stayed quiet for a beat, held her eyes and said, "That took more courage than you make it sound like." Then he let the silence breathe. Allison looked down for a second, smiled, and looked back at him differently. Why? Because his eyes told her he had heard the part of the story most men would miss. He was not just watching her face. He was paying attention to the woman behind it. That is how eye contact creates heat without touch. My friend, women can feel the difference between being looked at and being seen. A man who only looks at her makes her feel evaluated. A man who truly sees her makes her feel recognized. That recognition is powerful because it reaches deeper than appearance. It tells her, "I am here. I am not rushing. I am not afraid of the moment." But there is a line you must respect. Calm eye contact is not a staring contest. It is not about making her uncomfortable. It is not about trying to prove dominance. If she looks away, let her. If the moment feels too intense, soften it with a small smile or a natural glance away. Then return. The rhythm matters. Good eye contact has warmth, not force. Most men fail because their eyes reveal need. They scan for approval. They watch her reaction too closely. They look at her like they are asking, "Do you like me yet?" That energy is weak. A grounded man looks with quiet certainty. He is not begging for a response. He is simply present. This is where Stoic control becomes attractive. Your eyes stay steady because your mind is steady. Your breath stays slow because you are not chasing the outcome. You can enjoy her beauty without being controlled by it. You can feel attraction without letting it turn you into a restless boy. So practice this. When she speaks, give her your attention. Do not check the room. Do not look at your phone. Do not interrupt because silence makes you nervous. Hold her eyes naturally, especially when she says something meaningful. Let your face stay relaxed. Let your voice come lower and slower. If you do it right, she feels the room narrow around the two of you. Not because you forced it, but because your presence made the moment feel private. If you are ready to let your eyes carry confidence, write this in the comments: "I hold presence." Let's keep going, because the next move shows how balancing safety and tension keeps the heat alive without pressure. Number 8. Balance safety and tension. Let's be clear, my friend. Heat without safety becomes pressure. Safety without tension becomes friendship. The art is holding both at once. A woman wants to feel that your presence is steady enough to relax her, but alive enough to wake her curiosity. If she feels only comfort, she may like you but not feel pulled. If she feels only tension, she may feel guarded instead of open. That balance is where mature attraction lives. Most men fall to one side. Some become too safe. They agree with everything, avoid every edge compliment too gently, and make themselves harmless. She may trust them, but she does not feel that spark in the air. Other men become too intense. They stare too hard, speak too suggestively, too soon push for reactions and confuse pressure with confidence. She may feel something, but it is not trust. It is resistance. A Stoic man does not chase either extreme. He stays governed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In attraction, I would say the best power is not to be ruled by your hunger. You can feel desire without becoming reckless. You can create tension without making her uncomfortable. You can be warm without becoming soft. You can be direct without becoming invasive. That is self-command. Safety comes from respect. It comes from listening, noticing, not forcing, not rushing, and letting her feel that you are aware of her comfort. You do not corner her with your attention. You do not make every sentence heavy. You do not turn her smile into permission to push harder. You stay alert to the room, her tone, her body language, and the rhythm between you. Tension comes from restraint. It comes from the pause before you answer, the calm eye contact that lasts just long enough, the playful challenge that lets her know you have standards, the compliment that touches something real without becoming needy, the small mystery that makes her wonder what else is beneath your surface. Folks, this is why non-physical attraction can be so powerful. You are not trying to take anything from her. You are creating a space where she can feel safe enough to open and curious enough to lean in. That is different from chasing. Chasing says, "Give me a reaction." Presence says, "I am here, I am steady, and I am not rushing the moment." Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Remember that when the tension rises, if her beauty makes you lose control, you are not leading. If her attention makes you overtalk, you are not leading. If one smile makes you abandon restraint, you are not leading. The man who leads himself creates the strongest pull. So balance the energy. Give warmth, but keep your center. Create intrigue, but keep respect. Let your words carry heat, but let your behavior carry safety. If she steps closer, do not pounce. If she pulls back, do not chase. Let the rhythm teach you what the moment can hold. And when you are unsure, slow down. Slowing down protects the safety, and it gives the tension more room to grow. A woman remembers the man who made her feel seen, safe, and quietly stirred, without making her feel pressured. That is rare. That is clean attraction. That is the kind of tension that stays with her after you leave. If you are ready to carry both calm and heat, write this in the comments. I balance energy. Don't go anywhere, because the next move shows how revealing mystery slowly makes her mind return to you long after the conversation ends. Number 9. Reveal mystery slowly. Let's be honest, folks. Mystery is not created by acting strange. It is not created by giving cold answers, pretending to be busy, or turning every conversation into a puzzle. Real mystery comes from depth revealed with control. It is the feeling a woman gets when she senses there is more to you, but you are not rushing to hand her the whole book in one sitting. That is powerful, because the mind returns to what it has not fully solved. Most men ruin attraction by revealing too much too soon. A woman asks one question, and they unload their whole life, their past, their pain, their divorce, their childhood, their plans, their fears, their opinions on everything. They think openness creates closeness. Sometimes it does, but too much openness too fast can make the energy heavy, predictable, and flat. Think about Samuel, 58, from Portland. He met Catherine, 51, at a quiet cocktail lounge after a business conference. Catherine had warmth, intelligence, and a sharp sense of humor. She asked Samuel about his life, and he could tell she was genuinely interested. The old Samuel would have told her everything. He would have explained his career, his last relationship, his regrets, and his hopes for the future before the first drink was finished. But this time he slowed down. When Catherine asked, "So what made you move to Portland?" Samuel smiled and said, "A few things. One of them was peace. Another one is a longer story." Then he took a sip and let the silence sit. Catherine leaned in. "Now you have to tell me." Samuel did not rush. He said, "Not yet. I like to see if someone can handle the short version before I give them the real one. That created a spark. Not because he was playing games, because he had depth and he revealed it with restraint. Catherine felt there was more beneath the surface. She felt invited but not flooded. She felt curiosity without pressure. That is how mystery works, my friend. A woman does not need to know everything about you right away to feel connected. In fact, when she has to discover you gradually, her mind participates. She starts wondering. She starts asking. She starts paying attention to your pauses, your answers, your stories, your timing. That mental involvement creates tension without touch. But understand this clearly. Mystery must be backed by substance. If you reveal slowly but there is nothing there, she will feel the act. Mystery without depth is just emptiness wearing a dark jacket. A real man has stories, lessons, discipline, scars, standards, taste, and purpose. He does not hide those things. He simply does not dump them all at once. So when she asks about you, answer with enough truth to be real and enough restraint to keep the moment alive. If she asks about your past, give one clean piece, not the whole emotional archive. If she asks what you want, give direction, not a desperate confession. If she asks what you are thinking, say something honest with a little edge like, I'm deciding how much of you is calm and how much is trouble. Then let it breathe. A Stoic man does not overshare to buy intimacy. He lets trust earn access. He understands that not every part of him belongs in the first conversation. His life has rooms, and a woman enters those rooms through respect, time, and real connection. Reveal mystery slowly. Let your depth unfold. Let her discover the man instead of receiving the whole performance at once. If you are done giving away the whole story too soon, write this in the comments. I reveal slowly. Stay with me because the final move shows how presence alone can do the work most men try to force with words. Number 10. Let presence turn her on. Let's finish this cleanly, my friend. Presence is the final piece because every technique falls apart without it. You can use the right words, hold eye contact, slow the moment down, notice details, and reveal mystery slowly. But if your energy feels needy, nervous, or performative, she will feel the weakness underneath. Presence is what makes everything else believable. Presence means you are fully in the room, not half in your head wondering if she likes you, not secretly rehearsing the next clever line, not scanning her face like a man waiting for approval. You are there, grounded, breathing, listening, choosing your words, holding your desire, without letting it run the conversation. That is what creates heat without touch. A woman can feel when a man is centered. His body is relaxed. His voice does not rush. His eyes are steady without forcing. His attention is direct but not desperate. He does not flood the moment with compliments. He does not chase every smile like it is a prize. He lets the space between them stay alive. Folks, most men try to force attraction because they do not trust their presence. They think they have to do more, talk more, flirt harder, prove faster, push the conversation somewhere. But the more they push, the more the moment loses its natural charge. A woman feels the pressure and starts protecting herself from the energy. A man with presence does not need to push. He draws. Not because he is magical, because he is composed. He makes her feel seen without making her feel hunted. He creates tension without making her feel trapped. He gives warmth without handing over his power. He lets her feel that he is interested, but not dependent on her reaction. That balance is rare. This is where Stoicism becomes attraction in real life. A Stoic man is not ruled by impulse. He does not need to grab the moment because he trusts himself inside it. He can feel desire and still remain respectful. He can feel chemistry and still stay patient. He can feel a woman's beauty and still remember his own center. That kind of restraint is attractive because it gives his desire strength. His interest does not feel like hunger. It feels like choice. And when a woman feels chosen by a man who is not desperate, the energy changes. So let presence do the work. When she speaks, actually listen. When the silence comes, do not rush to kill it. When she smiles, enjoy it without chasing it. When you give her a compliment, make it specific and let it land. When you challenge her lightly, do it with warmth. When the moment gets charged, stay calm enough to let it breathe. Your goal is not to make her lose control. Your goal is to remain in control of yourself so the attraction can rise naturally. That is the difference between pressure and pull. Pressure says, I need you to feel something now. Pull says, I am steady enough for you to feel what is already happening. Pressure makes her step back. Pull makes her wonder why she wants to step closer. My friend, your presence is built before you ever stand in front of her. It comes from discipline, clean habits, self-respect, emotional control, a life that does not depend on one woman's approval. When that foundation is real, she feels it in the room. Let presence turn her on by becoming the man who does not need to perform attraction, calm, warm, controlled, aware, the kind of man whose silence has weight, whose words have purpose, and whose desire feels powerful because it is never out of control. Today we broke down how to create attraction without touching her. You learned how to build heat through presence, make her feel truly seen. Notice what other men miss. Challenge her with standards. Speak with controlled tension. Slow the moment down. Hold calm eye contact. Balance safety with desire and reveal. Mystery slowly. This is not about forcing chemistry. It is about self-control, awareness, and masculine presence. A Stoic man does not rush, push, or perform. He lets his calm, his words, his attention, and his restraint create the pull. If you want deeper lessons on Stoicism, attraction, emotional control, masculine presence, and how to create tension without chasing, consider joining the channel membership. That is where we go deeper and sharpen these principles at a higher level. And if this video gave you clarity, subscribe to the channel for more Stoic wisdom built for men who are done forcing attraction and ready to move with control. Thank you for watching, folks. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and I'll see you tomorrow.